Alright, we're going to take some notes on congruent figures. Please get out a sheet of paper and go ahead and copy this along with me. First, let's go ahead and define the word congruent. Congruent denoted by the symbol with an equal sign with a little squiggly on top, and that just means it's equal to, and you can see that you have an equal sign with it, so that's how you can remember that congruent means equal to. Now, congruent figures takes it a step further. They not only have the same size, they also have the same shape. And this means that their angles and their sides are congruent. And here's an example of congruent figures. Take a look at these two triangles. The red one is just the same as the blue one, except for the blue one is turned a little bit or rotated. Now, to really check this, we'd want to measure the angles and measure the side lengths and make sure that they're equal to each other. But here it looks like they are. Now, similar figures are when they have the same shape, two figures, but they are not the same size. And this is when their angles are congruent, but their sides are not. Go ahead and draw this example of similar figures. The triangle on the left is much bigger than the triangle on the right. Notice they're both right triangles, and this side and this side are the same. Just kidding. This angle and this angle are the same. This angle and this angle are the same. But the sides are not the same, so we cannot put the hash marks because that is not true. Later on, though, we'll talk about that these are proportional, and if you know certain sides, for instance, if you knew that that was 2 and that was 4, and you knew this was 3, then you could know that this one would be 6. Just because the sides are going to be double for the bigger one. So 2 times 2 gives you 4, 3 times 2 would give you 6. But that's kind of a preview to coming attractions. Alright, let's try to apply what we just learned. Let's see if figures are congruent, similar, or neither. Let's try one. Please write this down. Okay, I just drew a figure, a rectangle, and the rectangle here, I'm just going to count them. It's going to be 4 units because 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the height of our rectangle. And then the width of it, or the base of it, is 1, 2. And you can make a note of that on your figure that you're drawing. And now let's just count for the red. And we count 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's count how tall it is. So 1, 2. And ask yourself, do they have the same angles? I say yes, so check. And are the sides the same? Check. So if both of those are true, we know that these are going to be congruent. Alright, now let's try another example. Alright, let's draw the first figure. It's just a right triangle. And the second figure is also a right triangle, but it's kind of upside down from the other one. And now as you're drawing them, we're going to go ahead and fill in how far each measurement is, or the distance of each side. So I'm going to count here 1, 2, 3. I'm going to fill in a 3 for the base. And then going up, it would be 1, 2, 3. So it's also going to be 3 for the height. Now let's check the height of our purple triangle. So that would be 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to plug in a 3 there. And now the top side would be 1, 2. So plug in a 2 for the top. Well, I noticed a red flag right away. These sides are the same, and these sides are different. So that tells me this is not the same shape. So the shape would be a no. It's not the same shape. And we know they're also not the same size. So for this to be neither, this has to be true, that they are not the same shape. So yes, it's a right triangle. They're both right triangles. However, this one is isosceles, isn't it? And this one is, you guessed it, scalene. So that proves that these are not the same shape. So we would say neither for this answer. Neither similar nor congruent. For them to be similar, they would have to be the same shape. Alright, let's go ahead and try one more example. Alright, example 3. We're just going to go ahead and check out our two rectangles. Go ahead and sketch those for me. Let's fill in that first triangle is going to be 1, 2, 3 units across, and then it's just 1 unit up. Our second rectangle is 1, 2 units across, and then the height of it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now look at those. You might need to turn it. Does it look like they are the same shape? I hope you said yes. And just as a check on that, how could you get from the 1 to the 2? That's right, you could double it. Can you do the same thing for 3 to 6? If you double 3, does it give you the 6? Yeah, that's a good way to check to see if they truly have the same shape. And last off, do they have the same angles? Well, what does a rectangle have? All 90-degree angles. See how that's the case for both of these rectangles. So that means they are similar. Remember, they can't be congruent because they're not the same size. But they do have the same shape. And just for fun, how are these two basketball players related? Hopefully you said they are similar. And see, I can scale that one down and you can see that they are the exact same shape. So they're the same figures, just one is bigger than the other. Pretty cool, huh?